Okay. Sound check 1 2. Sound check 1 2. Everybody here? Sound check. Everybody hear me all right? Sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? Sound check 1 2. You guys hear me all right? Please say something in channel if you hear me. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do some technical work. Thumbs up. All right. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here. Let some people straggle in. How was everybody's weekend? Y'all have a good weekend? Anybody cook out? If you're living in the South, I'm sure you're probably cooking out. If you're in the North, you're probably hanging out insides. I actually went golfing today. It was a little bit windy, but I'll take it. Any day I can get out and go golfing, I'll take it. Okay, so I'm going to start recording this and we'll go from here. So if people straggle in a little bit later, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get started. Colorado. That's where my girlfriend lives. She lives in Denver. Yeah. So did you guys a lot of snow? Usually melts away pretty quick. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Going into that time of year. Okay, so I'm going to delve into Bitcoin to start out with. Obviously, that's the major and what everybody looks at. So I'll start with that. So this is a weekly chart of Bitcoin. And obviously, you know, you go back to like 2017, you had the big run up here, the big sell off here, and then we had a nice little pump that gets us started, right? And that's why I said that that's the end of the bear market, right? Back in here, I was calling for the end of the bear market. And so what do we got? We've got this wedge right here, okay? We got this wedge. And if we zoom in a little bit, let's take a closer look at it, all right? And so what's happening is that we're basically dribbling down, right? Keep going down, 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 dribbling. There's little pumps here and there, dribbling lower, and then you hit the trend line and it bounces, right? But what I'm watching for right now is down here, the stochastic RSI. Okay? So throughout this whole downtrend, we've had, a pump, indicator comes up. But what I like to see right now is and this is interesting, guys, is that, and something to watch for. We've had a lower price, and yet indicator is higher, right? Okay? We had a low over here. Indicator is way oversold right here. And now we've got lower price and higher indicator possibly. Okay? This indicator is not closed yet, but this is just something to watch for, right? Okay? We're watching this. Because what does that mean? That means price is falling, yet the strength of it means something is going on underneath, like people are accumulating. Okay? Doesn't mean that price can't come lower. Sure, it could. It could come down here to the 200 and the 233 down this area, which, obviously I don't want to see. And I didn't want to see it back here originally. I didn't want to see this area break, right? But it did break. And so now, can it reclaim that? That's the question. Did this area right here, where there was major support, did they just suck in a bunch of stop losses right in here and then want to run it higher? Time's going to tell. But you can see on the indicator that something is going on here, right? Bullish divergence possibility. So let's keep that in mind, okay? And obviously if it breaks this wedge, then we're going on to higher prices. All right? We're going much higher. And that's the area I want to get past. So let's keep that in mind, okay? That's a weekly chart. And then let's go back over to get back over to my other, let's see, there we go. And then let's go look at the daily. Okay, and let's see what's going on with the daily chart. And not too much. I mean, I put out a red alert a while back, and that was a false alert. My bad on that one. But still, we've got some divergence going on here, right? Even on the daily chart. Lower price, higher indicator possibility, right? Lower indicator, price was up here. Higher indicator, and price is lower. Okay? So let's watch this area real close. And if it gets above this green line, then I think we got room to move, right? And it wouldn't surprise me, right, if we get past this area, and it's a major consolidation area, this 7,200 to 7,500 area, this is consolidation zone. And so what's going to happen from here remains to be seen. We could drop lower. We could go through the roof, right? So what's going to be the catalyst is my question. That's my question. What is going to drive Bitcoin higher, right? Other than the halvening or, whatnot. So to me, this still looks like a bullish chart. We had a big run up here, and this is just corrective action right here, right? And I'm sure that, anybody that's looking at a chart, right? You're looking at this and you're going, okay, we had the big move, and then now we're correcting down. We're correcting this big move, right? So where's it going to bounce from, and where are people wanting to accumulate? Right? They're going to want to accumulate at lower prices. Right in this area. Could drop to here. I don't think so. But right in this area is where I'm expecting the low. And then move higher. Okay? Questions? All right. So that's Bitcoin for now. Let me look and see if the futures have opened up yet. Um, yeah. So CC. I mean, I think right now. I mean, really, if you're wanting to buy long, then I think this is your area. I really do. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be this is the low, right? But whether you're like wanting to play it long term and longer term, this is going to go higher. Okay, we're going to see plus 10,000 by early next year, right? So it's a matter of, do you want to get in here or do you want to get in here? And so that's the question, right? I mean, you're talking about 1,000 pips, maybe 1,500. Is that really worth risking missing out on if it turns and it goes fast? I mean, sure, you could chase it and you could get in and whatnot, but to me, this area right in here is the area that, you're wanting to get in. Okay? And especially with this possible divergence. No, I get it, Pay. I do. I hate chasing too, but sometimes, you play the breakout, right? Sometimes you play the breakout. You can't help it. I mean, it's better safe than sorry, right? So I think, to me, if this area right here, and I'm just telling you right now, look where these EMAs are, the 10, the 20, they're right up in here. So if it breaks this green line, which they are all coming down towards, and that's what, 8,100? If it breaks that, then we're going a lot higher, okay? We're going a lot higher. So whether you buy it here or you buy it down here, what's the difference, right? You're still going to get to 8,100 at some point. But do you really want to sit there and risk missing out on the move that might happen? That's up to you, and that's up to your risk. Okay. To me, that's my point. I'm not saying go all in, but I'm saying you could ladder your position, right? So you could go 25% in now or 50%. And then if it breaks above, then you can add to it, right? Because if it breaks this green line right here, it's going a lot higher, right? And it's going to come up and test this red line. And that wedge, the upper part of the wedge, right? Right there. So we're talking about a big, big move. All right. It looks small on the chart, right? But it's a big move pips wise. That's what I'm looking at. So do you risk it now or do you want to hit it down here and then go up? That's up to you. It depends on what your risk is. I mean, if you wanted to play it safe, just play 25%, getting in now, or 50% and then add your rest when it gets down to here. And then go up. That's my point. And I'm looking at the divergence right here, and that just tells me that something is going on right here that is going to make this turn at some point here pretty soon. Okay. I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, it's going down to 4,000. And yeah, sure it could. I'm not saying it can't. But I'm just saying that they may be wrong as well, right? They may be wrong. I may be wrong. But I'm just going off what I'm seeing on the charts. And I'm seeing a possible bullish divergence right in here that tells me that things might go higher. Okay? And I'm going to pull up, let me pull over the futures chart because it looks like they've opened. Okay, so here's the futures chart. Give my chart time to pull over, and let me change my focus, pointer focus. All right, so this is the futures chart, okay? And I'm going to get my pointer. There we go. All right. So here again, we're stuck in this wedge, right? Look at this wedge. Okay? This is a long-term wedge, right? And I'm going to scroll it in. I'm going to get it in here where you can see the dates. So we've been in this wedge all the way since July, right? Just going down. And let's scroll it in. Let's look at it. We're correcting this move that we had right here, right? Went parallel, went parabolic, and then now we're correcting this move, right? So this is all corrective. This is all a corrective move. And I don't care what anybody else tells you, that is corrective move. It's not one straight down, okay? This is obviously a corrective move, and we're in a wedge, okay? So once it breaks this wedge, and you can see the Bollinger Bands are getting tighter, right? Here's the lower, here's the higher. It's correcting down in, and we're getting pinched right in this area. So what's going to happen if we break out of this wedge? What do you think is going to happen? We're going to go up and probably fill this wedge or this gap right up here at 390 or 795. It's not going to happen immediately, but that's the direction it will go. Okay, this is not hard to figure out. And the squeeze indicator, right? We had back in here, we had losing momentum for bears, right? Had the drop, and that's why I'm still cautious a little bit, because we had, look here, right? Price right here. And when it starts losing momentum, price still wants to fluctuate down a little bit, but then all of a sudden you get right here, the red bars. And then all of a sudden you get a boom, right? So we haven't hit the red bars yet. Okay, the red bars are not showing up. So let's just keep an eye on this, right? Let's keep an eye on this area right here. I mean, we could still drop lower. There's no doubt. We could. But eventually we're going to break out of this wedge and go higher. That's my point. That's my point. We're going to break higher. It's just a matter of when. It's not if. We're going to break this higher. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's look at some other charts, unless y'all have any questions. All right, so let's go look at one that I've been watching is Link, right? And I'm going to switch this over to a daily chart. No, there's no clear as day. There's not. I mean, but you can get hints and you can get signals, and that's what we're looking for, right? And so the divergence is what tells me we're going higher. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at what the charts are showing. So Link. All right, so here we go. And I really liked it back in here, right? And I was a little bit early on my call. Obviously got the move lower and still could go lower all the way down to 180, right? At the 78.6. That's still a possibility. But the Bollinger Bands are hooking in, right? Bollinger Bands are hooking in. And we get a nice bullish divergence, right? So lower price right here, or price right here, indicator here, and then we get a lower price and a higher indicator. Bullish divergence. Okay? So Link is one to watch. Okay? Coming up soon. It's one to watch. As this thing could come up and hit, let's call it 243. It's got to break the 10 and the 20, obviously, and get past the 38 or the 23.6 to start out with. But this area right in here, that would be a good first target, right? 240. And then once it consolidates a little bit, maybe it moves higher. Okay? So we'll see about Link. XTZ. And Pay, I know you love this one. But here's my thing on XTZ. Is that, number one, it's hit fib cluster, right? It's hit previous resistance up in this area. Okay? I don't know that this thing is going to power right through that. If it does, then obviously, like I said, it probably goes to 180-ish, right? So if you're following the trading plan, you've got shares left in it, then you're still looking good. Trail up your stop loss, etc. But right here, way above the Bollinger Bands, way outside the Bollinger Bands, this is one that I think comes back in a little bit, right? Maybe comes back into 140, let's call it 144. Okay. I think it probably comes back in a little bit and then holds this area right in here. Okay. And let's just draw a line on it. Okay. Oops. Let's see. I didn't get that right. Gosh dog it. Hang on. All right. So there you go. Okay. So pull back in a little bit, come back down to this red line, and then take off maybe to new highs. All right. I wouldn't be buying it right here. I mean, seriously, guys, I'm just, if you're wanting to get in, I do not recommend buying right now. Okay. That's FOMO stuff right there. That big red or big green stick, That's FOMO stuff. Okay? Sure, could it go higher? Absolutely. And I'm not going to doubt that. But I would not recommend that to any of my members at all. That's too huge of a risk. Okay? Too huge of a risk. I would say wait until it pulls back down inside the Bollinger Bands and gets down to this area, 140, 142. And then if you want to take a risk on it, by that time the 10 and the 20 will probably be up in this same area, right? Okay? They'll be close to that area, and if it's really strong, it'll hold those and then potentially push price higher. But right now, I do not recommend this as a buy. I recommend this as a hold. If you're already in it, it's a hold. Or, hell, I mean, if you got it and you're following my trading plan, you've already sold from back in here and you're making some money and just letting the rest ride. Okay? Don't get greedy, guys. Don't get greedy. Just stay in the game. That's what it's all about, right? I've seen this too many times. People want to try to get $1 million off one trade and think it's going to $5 and $6. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just take your money, take your profits, be happy with that, and move on to the next trade. There are thousands of coins out there. Thousands of coins. Don't focus in on just one. Okay? If you're wanting to play this, wait until it retraces. Okay? I think I pointed that out to a member of mine on RVN, and I'll go back to this. I called it back here. When RVN was up in here, I said, it's way outside the Bollinger Bands, right? It's going to retrace back inside, and you can buy it at the 10 and the 20 EMAs, which was a fib area at the time. And I think a member of mine got in, and in fact, I know he did because he tipped me, but he got in, and it went higher, right? Sell, I mean, right in here you're buying, get out, hold a little bit, and then if you want to add back on the retrace, and then bounce. Boom. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. And then you're getting out and you're waiting for it to retrace back inside the Bollinger Bands. I mean, Raven is not, it's not going to the moon, right? It's not. It's going to pull back inside, okay? It's going to pull back inside the Bollinger Bands, and then let's let the 10, the 20, or the 200 and the 233 slide back in and then get above and let these catch up. It's going to consolidate in this area, right? That's what bulls want. Bulls want this thing to consolidate in this area right up in here. If it just goes sideways at 430 to 440, 420-ish, good stuff. That's good stuff. Just let it go sideways. Let the Bollinger Bands catch up. Let it, let this one hook back in, and then you go higher. All right, questions? What if XTZ stays? Let's see. Hang on. Let me go back. Fabio. Second green candle means from the far. Okay, so Fabio, let me go back, and you're talking on Raven, RVN? I am, yeah. Okay, so you're talking about, and I'm going to scroll in on the chart, right? Okay. And let's just do this, right? So look back here, okay? Look back here, and you see where you get this huge move from RVN, right? Right in here. And then you get that candle that reverses it, right? That red stick. Okay, this candle is not closed. And let me preference that. Let me say it's not closed yet. All right, this candle is still open. So this candle could reverse and go higher. But right now, it's a red stick. And it's trying to retrace, right? And so price is outside. Here's your Bollinger Band, right in here. And it's trying to use that Bollinger Band as support. That rarely happens. I mean, it can happen, but it rarely happens. All right? So my guess for RVN is that it's going to pull back inside. Okay? You would want to see it come back inside and consolidate somewhere and basically not go below that green stick. Right? So if you're long, you want to see it hold. Here we go. I just put the line on it. You want to see it hold this 379, 380 area. That's where bulls want to see that hold, right? And so if I was to do a fib retracement, I haven't done one yet, but let me just do this. Let's see where the fibs line up. There's your 38.2. All right. So you would want to see it hold this 50% retracement. Possibly even, well, wait a second. Hang on. I'm going backwards here. Let me get all that stuff out of there. There we go. All right. So on a retrace, you want to see it hold the 38.2, 50. I don't know that I would want to get down to the 61.8, but it possibly could hold. But I think that's where it's going, right? That's me. I think that's where it's going, right? You see these things are spreading out so far, right? And so everybody's getting all excited because things are going up, but you want to see it retrace back to at least the 38.2, and that's at what, 394? 394 would be an area that if you wanted to take the chance and take the risk that it might just hit that and that be support and then go higher, then go for it. Because the 10 EMA will probably be up in that area by tomorrow. Okay? These EMAs are going up. Okay? Now, price-wise is going to determine whether these keep going up or they start going sideways, right? But my guess is that RVN is going to come back under 400, okay? Probably back down to 394 to start out with, and then we'll see what happens there. All right, let's go back to XTZ. Pay likes XTZ. Okay. What if XTZ doesn't pull back as far as we think? Economic. All right. Okay. So again, let's look at XTZ. Okay, and I'm just spreading things out a little bit. And let's go and zoom in. So, as I pointed out, this fib cluster right here, and it's not, I don't think it was just one, I think I had 3 fib clusters lined up there. No, it was 2. Okay. So I've got 2 fib clusters lined up right here, 78.6 and the 161.8. Very powerful fib numbers. And you can see how it's reacting off that area. It doesn't like it. All right? Not only does it not like it, but let's do this. Okay? So you've also got this area right over here that is major resistance. And you can see it's big time resistance. Why? Because look how price reacted off that. Price reacted off of it very violently, right? To the downside. See that? That is major resistance. So my point being, do you want to buy XTZ right here? Right here? Do you want to buy that right there? When you've got price outside, and I'll point it out 3 ways. Major resistance, price outside the Bollinger Bands, and a fib cluster. Do you really want to buy it right here? Or would you be selling here? Let me ask you that question. Would you be selling it here or would you be buying it here? Okay? This isn't about being greedy or anything like that, but I'm just saying this is what I'm trying to point out to you guys. Don't sit there and be greedy. If you were writing it from back here at 74 cents, and it's at 142 or 160, I mean, what are you doing? Are you in it for long term? What? That's where you have to determine your goals. Is this a long-term hold, medium-term hold, short-term hold? Because I can tell you right now, this thing is going to pull back at some point, right? It's going to pull back. So if you're long, then what are you worried about? If you're long, then who cares, right? If you're long, then you're thinking it's going to 180 after a pullback, right? My thing is that if you look at this chart going back, it always comes back to the 200 and 233 day moving average. Look at this. Gets way above, comes right back down to it, gets above, comes back down to it, gets below it, comes back to it, gets above. What do you think? You think it's going to come back in here? Think it might come back in here? Or is it just going to keep going straight up? I would be very, very careful. I mean, sure, it's got a lot of Momo behind it. It could come up here. It could go to 180, could go to 220. But I'm just saying, this thing likes the 200. I mean, over time, everything comes back to the 200 and 233 day moving average. Look at this. All right. Gets way below it, tests it. Gets above it, comes back to it. Gets above, comes back to it. Gets below, back to it. Now it's above. What do you think is going to happen? Go above and then come back to it? Just saying, buddy. Don't be expecting no $10 or $5 on this thing. If everyone is long, then I'm going the opposite way. I'm just telling you. Okay? I tend to go opposite the crowd. I will sell into the crowd. I'll tell you that. But it's a good looking chart. It really is. I mean, you know, this thing could just power right through this resistance and go up here, go up here. But I'm just telling you, it's coming back to the 200 and 233 day moving average. Everything reverts back to the mean. And the mean is the 200 and 233 day moving average. Look at this. Price does not get away from it too far. So keep that in mind. Okay? BTC on death cross. I don't believe in death crosses. I really don't. In fact, I almost think death crosses are more of a buying opportunity, if you want to be honest. I mean, they could lead to lower prices for sure, but I just think that just gives a signal that there's a buying opportunity coming up, and vice versa, right? LTC. Let's look at LTC. All right, so I posted this a while back. I mean, the megaphone pattern is working out like a gem, right? Look at this. I posted this a while back. So you get the megaphone pattern, right? And that just screams. It's like it's a megaphone, right? So you have to, when you think of megaphone and a megaphone pattern, it's basically screaming to you that it's doing something, right? It's going lower. And not only, I mean, here's the funny thing. LTC did this way back, can't remember if it was back in here in 18 or, God, yeah, I think it was back in here. It was right back in here. Let me see. If I was to do hang on, here we go. Yeah, it was back in here. Look at this. All right, so it was back in, and I think I posted about this back in 2018 when it did. Let me look at this. There we go. So you had this. God dang it. I did a trend line. Screw it. If I can get this lined up. All right, so there's that. And there is that. Okay. So I think I did something similar to this back in 2018 on Litecoin. I'd have to go back and look. But look at this. That's a megaphone pattern, right? And it screams lower, not higher. screams lower. And I almost want to say, I can't remember the price I called on it, but back when it was trading up in, oh my God, I can't remember if it was back in, maybe it was back in this area, 60. I thought it was a lot higher though. But anyway, I was saying it would probably get down into the 30s or whatever. And sure enough, there it went, right? Hit the bottom of that megaphone pattern, and then all of a sudden you get the nice bounce, right? And then let's take this out. And let's go back and see what we got now. Right? And so now we get another megaphone pattern, right? Where you got higher prices, lower lows, and it's like a megaphone saying we're going lower. So I'm not bullish on Litecoin at all right now. I'm not. I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that love Litecoin, love Charlie Lee, whatever, but I just think there's too many other things to play. All right? I am not bullish on this chart at all. And I'm sorry. I mean, I have Litecoin. I own Litecoin, but I'm not bullish on this chart pattern at all. I mean, this is one of those that could just, gradually work its way lower, 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 all the way down to the 30s again. And it could break below this megaphone pattern, right? But I don't know that it'll break too far below it, but I think it'll just hug that and just keep going lower, lower, lower until next year, early next year. And then maybe it'll get a nice bounce. Anyway, that's Litecoin, not bullish. ETH. Let's go look at Ethereum. Ethereum. I'll tell you what. Here's something to watch. Right? Is that? And it's been a while since I've done this chart. Let me go ahead and get that out of there since I broke below it. And it broke below this. Let me do some settings on this. 78.6. Get that out of there. And let me just do that. And we'll do this. All right. So Ethereum has basically come all the way back down, and now we're retesting some of this Fibonacci area right in here. Okay. Bollinger Bands, look at this. Here's what's going to get interesting in the next couple of days, and I cannot wait, guys. Next couple of days we're getting ready to get really serious here in the next week, because these Bollinger Bands are they're getting ready to get pinched, right? So you got the upper Bollinger Band coming down, lower Bollinger Band coming up, and it's going to pinch, and you can already see where price is going sideways because of that, right? So now the question is going to be, does it break up or does it break down? And so that's where we need to be on watch. All right? That's where we need to be on watch. And so the key is going to be to see if, and stochastic RSI is getting close to oversold. This almost tells me that this might go down a little bit and then go up. Right? You could see, like right now, stochastic RSI is way oversold or overbought. But what you want to see on stochastic RSI is you want to see it hold the 50 level. When it comes back down and starts hooking down and price starts coming down, if it holds that 50 level right there on indicator, then price could go higher. All right? So it's one of those you watch. Watch this. Watch for a lower low, possibly down into here or here, and then rocket higher. Okay? Excuse me. So watch for that. Not saying that that's not the low, right? That could be the low. But this is going to be interesting to watch, right? Because if price can stabilize right in here, and then you get the down here indicator, that gives you room to move up to the upside. I think next week is going to be a really interesting week to watch. And I would almost be willing to bet my bottom dollar that we go higher. Okay. Questions? BCH. Same thing, really. I haven't. I'll keep that fib in there. I had that stuck in there from last time. So BCH, same thing, right? Can it hold this support? That's the question. Right here. Can it hold that support? And it could be one of those deals like, as much as it pains me to say this, guys, I put a call on burst, right? All right, so look at this, okay? I put a call out on burst, and this is what can happen, okay? I put a call out on burst to go long, all right? And I had a really, really conservative stop loss, okay, on burst. I really did. I was like, I didn't want members to lose a lot of money or anything like that. So I put a call, and the stop loss was just like right at 30. So what happens? And here's what really pissed me off about it, and I think members would have made a lot of money on this. And hopefully nobody lost. They shouldn't have. But anyway, burst barely went below support, right? It's almost like they cleaned out a lot of stop losses of people that were down there. But it hit 28, and then it just rocketed higher. Okay? Hit 28, just went barely below. You see this support there at 30. Held support at 30, 30, 30, 30, and went to 28, and then bounced. It just totally ripped it right after cleaning out a bunch of stops. And that's one of the things, and that's my bad. That was a bad call. I should have had a stop loss lower than that, and I should have known better. But that's what happens, right? That would have been a huge percentage gainer on burst. And I was close. I was real close on the call. I knew it was going to do something like that, but unfortunately it went a little lower. So anyway, in fact, I'll get rid of that. There we go. All right. And that's how it goes in crypto or trading, right? You have to, if you get the risk and you want to put your stop loss a little bit lower and you want to be aggressive, you could do something like that. You could say, oh, I'll put my stop loss at 25, and then all of a sudden you're in the money. All right? So anyway, bad call on my part, and I'll do better in the future. DGB. Let's go look at DGB. All right, so here's the thing that absolutely we have to watch for, right? Especially now, right? And this is what I love when I'm looking at these charts is I'm seeing the 200 and the 233 move all the way down, and they're getting closer and closer. See the distance between right here? See the distance over here? Between the 200 and price would come up, and it fails. price comes up, it fails. Now we're getting the 200 and the 233 getting closer to price, right? So now if DGB can just stabilize right in this area and go sideways a little bit, guess what's going to happen? It's going to eventually break that. And now all these people that were, I mean, if you go back in time, here's what's happening. All these people that bought in up here now are selling down here. More than likely. Or they're just waiting or averaging down or whatever you want to call it. They're wanting to get out. Well, this is the perfect time to get in. Perfect time to get in. Price is stabilizing. Look at this. Sideways pattern. We saw this on Matic. Matic went sideways for probably 2 or 3 months. And then all of a sudden, look what happened to Matic. Right? So now, look at DGB. Price is getting so close right in here. And what you would want to see is price hold steady and then break above the 200 and the 233-day moving average. And then you start your uptrend. Right? And now, all of a sudden, the 200 and 233 become support. Right? So it's just a matter of time, guys, for DGB. Just saying. Keep an eye on it. Okay? Not saying it can't get down in here at 72 or whatever. But I'm just saying, as long as it holds in this area for the next month and let the 233 and 200 get it, I mean, this thing could just turn and go. All right? Just keep an eye on DGB. Who knows what will happen? All right. By the way, guys, if you would hit the like button on my channel, subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe. Hit the like button. That helps me out a bunch. Recommend it to friends. That just helps me out enormously. I want to get, at some point, I'd love to be able to get over 1,000 members in here. Anyway, that's DGB. Let's go over to what else we got. VET. I've been watching VET, and sure enough, there we go. Okay. Bullish. Pretty bullish chart. I mean, I could see, excuse me, I could see VET going to 131 if it breaks this 111 area. See it going to 131 on VET. Let's see. Do I believe in Plan Bs? I have no idea what that is. Amast, you're going to have to explain. I have no idea what that model is. No idea. No, I have no idea what that model is. I'm sorry. I don't. I do my own deal, right? And I've been trying to tell everybody how I do my stuff. My theory is pretty simple. It's if you get into something and you like it, Okay? You don't want to go all in. Not all in 100%, right? You want to go in with the theory that price is going to go in your direction, and you have a set price that you're going to get your original capital out, right? That's the whole key to this, guys. I've been trying to preach this and trying to teach you guys, get your original capital out and then let the rest ride. Okay? Get your original capital plus a little profit. Okay? You always want to take a little profit, but then let the rest ride. Price is not, there's going to be few exceptions like Matic or whatever. But don't get greedy on this stuff. Just build yourself a portfolio. Build a portfolio where you go, oh yeah, I've got this, I've got that, and I've got this. If price goes to the moon, then start looking at it, and if it retraces, buy back into it if it's a bullish trend. But don't sit there and think that you're going to be a millionaire overnight. It's not going to happen. It's not. And I know people are wanting to make $20,000 and $30,000, and I don't know how much capital you have to spend, and maybe it's doable if you have that much capital to spend, but don't be greedy. Not in this market. You can't. Just take what the market gives to you and be grateful. Wait for prices to drop back. They will. They're not going to go to the moon. All right? Okay, so let's go look at some other stuff. Let's look at ADA. See, it's like, here's another example. ADA. Everybody was wanting to think it's going to break out. Let the 200 and the 233 come back down in, right? They're getting close. Right? They're getting really close. So by early next year, ADA, if it holds this area right here and does not drop too far, then ADA is going to be one to watch. Link. Okay, let me go to Link. I did this one earlier. Link. And I actually like Link. I really do. I think I've still got some left over in my bag. I think this is one of those that right in here, look at the Bollinger Bands. Okay, you got the lower Bollinger Band coming up as support. Could it drop down to 180-ish? Sure it can. Absolutely it can. There's no doubt. In fact, that would probably be a golden buy opportunity in my opinion. But this is the area that you would want to take a position. Small position. Ladder into it. Small position here. If it drops to here, add. If it drops to here, you're out. Right? You're out. I don't care if there's support back over here or not. If it breaks that 78.6, I would be done. Okay? I would be done. And I would just wait until either it held this and then revisit it and look at the chart again and see if it wants to make a bottom or if it wants to come down to the 127.2. Right? Which I don't think it will, but we'll see. It could. But right now, this is the area you want to think about putting a small portion in based on the Bollinger Bands. Because the lower Bollinger Band is acting as support and it's coming down to it. And you want to see it come off higher off that. Right? That's my opinion. So that's link. Fibonacci, how it works easy. Yeah, it does. It really does. I mean, here's the thing about Fibonacci, guys, is that it doesn't always hit perfect, right? It didn't have to hit perfect. But it's that range that you're looking for, right? It could be within, 20, 30 cents. It could always be that area, right? And then you just, when it gets down to that area you're looking for, that's when you watch it. You're like, okay, so it could be in that area, and then I'm going to start watching it really close. It's like XTZ. There we go. Right? So XTZ. Perfect example. I got a fib cluster and I've got resistance right over here. What are the chances, right? I mean, the chances could be good, right? That it's going to break through that. But do I want to buy that right here? No. Not when it's outside Bollinger Bands, and not when it's right at major resistance and a fib cluster. I'm not doing it. And that's my trading philosophy. If it gets through that, then so be it. I was wrong, right? But at least the percentages are in my favor. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm going to buy it right here, right at resistance. Fib cluster, I want to wait until if it can possibly break down to here, then I can add at 140, 150, 143, 140, something like that. Yeah, I'd much rather get it down here. But I'm not going to buy it at right when it's trying to break new highs. I'm not going to do that. That's too much of a risk. Now, if it does break that, then you got to be careful of, is that a false breakout? I mean, I'm seeing too much in XTZ right now that, I mean, although it's very bullish, it's a bullish chart. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That is a bullish chart. But I would much rather get it on a retrace than I would trying to buy it right here at resistance. And disclaimer, I do own XTZ. Let's see. Fibonacci is by numbers. What does it say? So to me, here's what I look at. 78.6 in either direction, right? 78.6 is a good bounce area, or it's a good resistance area. So you want to look at that number very hard, right? And if it breaks either one of those numbers, then there's a good chance, high probability, that price is going to hit the 127.2. Obviously, you're going to have the retest of a low or a high, okay? But probabilities are that you're going to hit lower or higher than that, okay? So if it breaks the 78.6, it's more than likely going to the 127.2. In my opinion. All right, guys. Any other questions? Any other chart Chart requests are open. Fibonacci retracement. So that's basically. So let me do this. Here, I'll do this. And let's just. I'll use XTZ as an example, right? So I haven't done this, right? You've seen this live. You're seeing this live. All right? But let's assume, okay, that this top is going to hold, all right? Let's assume that that top right there is going to hold. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my retrace. I'm going to go fib retracement. And I'm going to take it from this low to the high. Okay? And then I'm going to throw in, get that out of the way, and I'm going to put in a 23.6, 38.2, 50, 61.8, and a 78.6. I'll take that 161 out. All right. So, as I said, all right, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right, guys, on fibs. It doesn't have to be right on the number. But you can see how amazing this is, right? If I threw fibs on there, look where the 23.6 retracement lines up. If this is a bullish, very bullish chart, then it's going to hold the 23.6, which is right here, where this old support, or old resistance actually, and I'm going to call it new support, and I'll change that over to green. I did that wrong. Let me get that other. There we go. All right. So this area you would think would be strong, right? Right? You would think that area would be strong. You would think. If not, then what's going to happen? It's going to come down to the 38.2. And that's going to be where? 129. Okay? Now, that's not saying, and I'm not saying this, right? This is things and probabilities that you have to look for, right? When you're trying to trade this stuff. Could XTZ break this resistance? And if it does, it's going here. It's going to go up to 188. If it does not, and it retraces, it's coming down to here, 146. So, do you really want to buy it right here when it's outside the Bollinger Bands? Okay? Outside the Bollinger Bands, and risk a move to 188. That's a risk you have to take, right? Or want to take. I'm not saying you do. I'm not recommending that. I'm recommending that you not buy and wait for a retrace. Okay? Then get it on the retrace and then let it ride higher. Okay? That's my recommendation. I could be totally wrong. But that is what you guys have to watch for. That's all a part of trading, right? Is it going to break it? Is it going to break out? If it does, then I'm going to buy it and I'm going to take it all the way to 188. If it does not, then I'm buying it down here. Okay. ERD. Isn't that a competitor to XTZ? It's a competitor, I think, is what I heard. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Um, God, this is pretty interesting, really. Let me do this. Oh my. So ERD and XTZ are trading side by side pretty much. Okay. My. Let's do this. I can't really take it from that high over there. I'm going to take it from. Let's do a fib retracement from here down to here. And get that going again. Can't get the fib on it. Hang on. I got the lock on it. Let's see. Let's do this. There we go. May have already done that. Hang on. There we go. There we go. I'm having problems with this chart. God, this is a booger. Driving me crazy here. There we go. Finally. Okay. There we go. Much better. And isn't that interesting? Okay. So on ERD, here we go. Finally got the fibs in there. So over the long term chart, this resistance right in here lines up perfectly with the 38.2 retracement. Okay? So anything above this, it's going to run, right? So get above, what, 36? 36 to 37? Get above that, and she runs, right? That's what it looks like. And this is very bullish. I mean, look at, and this is a thing of beauty. I love this. So in a bear market, look at this, guys. EMAs are coming down. They're pushing price lower, goes sideways. Then all of a sudden you get the EMAs and they flip, right? That's bullish. That is bullish right there. You got all the EMAs going in the right direction. 10 and 20 are holding it up. This is a very, very bullish chart. I like it. I like it a lot. So, ERD. That's a very, very bullish chart. So, I like that one. Wish I'd have known about it back here when it was 15 sats. That'd have been nice. Or even 21. But oh well. Very bullish chart. Very nice. All right, guys. Any other charts? Chart requests are open. While you're thinking about that, give me 2 seconds. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I am back. Let's see. Any questions? Chart requests? My thoughts on BTC for year and early 2020. Okay, so let's do this. My thoughts. Let's just go back over here and I'll take a look at the. Let's forgive my cats, guys. If you can't hear my cats, they're bitching. Oh my gosh. Let's see. There we go. All right. All right. So my thoughts on BTC for the year, and actually, I think I may go over to a monthly chart. Let's go and do this. We'll do it weekly. All right. So, Bitcoin, right? We had this monster move here, consolidate, monster move, and you can't see it, right? Because it's so small. But then you get this enormous move up, and then you get the bear market that drives price way down, right? Then here we are today. And so we're stuck in this wedge right here. We're correcting this move, right, which was an impulse move to the high side, right? And now we're correcting back down. Could we come back down into here? Sure. Which is what, 6,000, 5,700? Sure we could. We could come back to, no doubt we could. And especially since we broke that area right there, that just kind of, unless we can get back above that very quickly, then, it's game on, right? But I'm looking at that divergence, and that's, with price, and that's what I'm looking at. So could we get one big move down real quick to pinch everybody out and get them out and then rocket higher? Sure. But my longer term view is, let's go over to a monthly chart. All right. Here's the monthly. And so when I see, and here's the thing, and I can't remember if I posted this or not, and I'm going back and it's refreshing my memory a little bit. But 1, 2, 3. All right, that's a reversal pattern. Those 3 candles, right? 3 in a row. That's like 3 white soldiers, right? And you usually retrace about 50 to 61.8% of that move, right? Where are we at? We're at the 61.8. Okay? So anything below this 20 EMA and it's game off, right? I mean, we're if we go below this 20 EMA and the 61.8, then it's going to be, people are going to be like, oh, we're going to zero, right? Because we're going to go down, and I'm just telling you, if we break the 61.8, we're going down to 5,400. Whether that happens in a day, I don't know. Whether it happens over 2 weeks, I don't know. But right now, I mean, Bitcoin really needs to get, to me, this candle right here, we got a red stick, right? That's a stick sandwich right there, which is not good. But getting back inside and getting a green stick inside of that red candle would do wonders, right? On the monthly. Okay, and I'll scroll in. Okay, scrolling in. So I want to see Bitcoin get right up in here. I want to see it get to around 7,800 or plus by the end of the month. And it's I mean, right now it's a doji, right? And really that wouldn't actually make me too upset if we finished right here at the end of the month. A doji. And then the next month is January, and then start out with a big green stick, right? And turn and break that wedge and go higher, right? That's kind of my thinking, right? Just kind of consolidate right in here for the rest of the month, and then let altcoins do their deal, and then we get this break of the wedge and we go higher. All right? We still have that gap at 11,002, 11,003. So by the new year or in January is when I'm expecting that we'll take this move higher. Okay? I would love to see a doji right here. That actually would be pretty nice. A doji right at like this area would be perfect. Either that or just a small green stick, just a green, maybe even a hammer. We'll see what happens. This thing could go lower, could just drop on and fall on its face, but I would love to see, and that's what I think is going to happen, is that we'll probably hold in this area and then go higher. Just my guess. All right, chart requests. Anybody want me to look at something? Just begging for a chart. Anybody got something? Shill it at me. Shill me a chart, please. Shill me a chart. let's see. How can you tell the price may go to? Okay, so I'll go back to my chart here real quick. And it's basically, I can do it on the daily chart, right? So this fib retracement right here, okay? Right in here. And if I was to extend this lower, right? And if I was to extend this lower, see that fib retracement? 78.6. Right there. 78.6 retracement. We've talked about that. That's a major reversal area. Okay? So price could technically hit 5,400. Right there. I mean, this thing could come up here and bounce all the way to 7,900, close to 8,000, and then all of a sudden go like sideways to down all the way to 5,400 in the span of like a few weeks. Okay? But right now, Bollinger Bands are getting pinched. Right in here, they're getting pinched, right? Upper right here, lower right there. They are pinching. And so, how is possible? Yeah, so it's easy. I mean, we've broken, and in fact, I mean, I technically actually should take this out of here because we broke it. We have broken below the 61.8 retracement. So I'm taking that out of there. The next Fibonacci retracement, if we're following this to the downside, is 5,400. But it doesn't have to always follow Fibonacci retracements, right? That's one thing you have to watch. That's one of the things you have to watch for. Fibonacci retracements. Patterns are another. And so we're in this falling wedge, right? This wedge. And here's the bottom part of the wedge. And so does it break out of the wedge before it gets down to here is the question. That is going to be the question, right? And right now we're stuck in no man's land. 7,500 is no man's land, right? It's just going to stay there until these Bollinger Bands get tight enough, and then we're going to find direction after that. Okay? See that? See these Bollinger Bands getting real tight right here? They're getting very tight. Very tight. Just like they did back here, right? And you saw the huge move, all right? And then price came back in and it came back down, all right? It's almost like back in here, same thing. Pinch. These Bollinger Bands are tight. They're tight. Tight, 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 and then all of a sudden it breaks out. So now we need to watch these Bollinger Bands, okay, and let them give us a clear direction of which way we're going. If it starts to break higher, we're going to follow that lead. Right now, we're below the 200 and the 233-day moving average. So my guess is that we're going to come back and test those. Okay? Hint, hint. But might not be before we come back down here. And it could be that we maybe test this lower Bollinger Band at 7,000, 69.36, something like that. So it's getting ready to get pretty volatile, guys. Okay? So be aware. Be aware. It's getting ready to get very volatile. Volatile is coming up pretty soon. And I'm just looking at this pattern here, and I'm like, hit a bottom, up, down, and then are we going to get a big green stick here in the next day or two? Makes you wonder, are we going to test right up in here? That would be around 7,900, 8,000. If it hits that area, I would be very cautious. I would be taking some off the table. All right. Any other questions? Chart requests? What's Matic doing? Yeah. Just still hanging around resistance. Let's look at RVN. Trying to pull back inside the Bollinger Bands. XTZ. Oh, XTZ is trying. It's trying. I don't like it, though. I don't like that. And it looks like a gap. Smallish, but I don't know that I like that right there. I think XTZ is going to pull back inside. Let's see. Tap. I don't see anything on my... Is that a regular stock? Is that like a stock exchange? Molson Coors Brewing Company? Or Tap Oil? Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. I got you. Let me look at it. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. And they just had earnings, right? How were their earnings? Or did they? No, that was just dividend date. Earnings coming up. No, earnings aren't happening for next quarter. Okay. Let's look at this. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. I mean, here's the deal, and I'll post this. Hang on, let me just, and I'm not going to put any fibs on here or anything, but I'll do this. Hang on. I mean, this thing is almost too predictable, really. Damn it. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so to the 200 and 233 MA. All right. One of the things I've noticed about this chart is that it always seems to revert back to the 200 and the 233 EMAs. And I don't know if I can post it in my chart. Anyway, let me do it this way. All right, so let's go back, right? And obviously this thing is in a major bearish trend, right? But look what happens every time, okay? It came back to right over here, right? Watch my cursor. Hits the 200 and 233. And that's when the turn started, right? But what happens? It always comes back to test it. Right there. Dips. Comes back, tests it. Dips. Comes back and tests it. Major dip. Can't quite get back there. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to get the people that bought back here that are like giving up, right? Does that make sense? So people that are buying all this pump, right? You had a big pump right back in here. There's a lot of people that bought back in here that are wanting to get the hell out, right? And you have to look at it in that sense, right? So just put yourself in that position. Man, if I bought this thing at 104, holy shit, and this thing, and I woke up like 2 months later and this thing is down here, what am I doing? I'm averaging down, or I'm trying to wait until price gets down to here to where, and that's what these moving averages are, right? Those are people that just are losing money, right? They're losing money. And then all of a sudden they're averaging down, and all of a sudden you get down to here, but all the while, everything comes in back and tests the 200 and the 233 day moving average. And so now you've got price down here, and look what happens. You may have a double bottom opportunity and a chance to get it back to 56. So I would actually be taking a position in this one if it was me. If you're wanting to get in, I would get in, and I would say if it gets to 56, 55-ish, then I'd be selling out, right? Or at least following the trading plan. You could always buy in now or tomorrow because it's not open yet. But you could buy tomorrow, providing there's no major gaps. But buy tomorrow, and then when it gets up to around this 54, 55 area, then you could, get your original investment out, hold a little bit of it, and see if this thing turns. Because, right now these things are so tight. This 200 and 233 day moving average is driving price down, right? And you can see what happens once it breaks above, right? Once it starts to get these things turning in the right direction, look what happens. I mean, it's a bull market, right? It's a bull. They turn and it's a bear. So you can play it back to because it seems to want, it wants to, every time it wants to bounce back to the 200, 233. It wants to keep bouncing back and testing it. So you could do the same thing right here. Right? So you bought at 58. Okay. Well, yeah, if you bought at 58, let's see, 58, that's right in here. Yeah, may not be a bad deal, dude. May not. I mean, if that's a double bottom right there, then this thing could be starting to turn. You know what I'm saying? That's what you hope for. You want to see this thing. You don't want to ever try to think that something's a bottom just because it's bottom, right? But wait for like a bottoming out process, right? So here you get a low, higher low, possibly. And let's see if this thing can just start curling up. You know what I'm saying? Get it going this direction. And then if it does, then you hang on to that 58 and you don't ever sell it. Right? You just don't sell it. You let that thing ride for a while. Because this thing is when it turns and goes, I mean, it is like, it follows the trend lines, I mean, and moving averages like no other. So, yeah, kind of like you're thinking on it. Kind of like you're thinking you're getting it. I mean, you're getting it like half price discount. 50% off. So, not a bad move. Not a bad move at all. Yeah, 58 might be a good entry. Nah, you're fine. I think you're fine. Just if that's, I guarantee if that's the bottom right there and that's a double bottom and tomorrow it starts to turn and if it can break above the 200 and 233, you're golden. You're golden. So I don't think that's a bad risk in my opinion. I don't think it's a bad risk at all. In fact, I think that's almost makes me want to try to buy some. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. Any other, let's see. Let me go back and look. Oh, they raised the dividend. Wow. Even better. I mean, get into it and just hold it. Collect a dividend and, I mean, wow. Very nice. Very nice. Tesla. Let's go. That'll be a fun one. I haven't looked at Tesla in quite a while. Let's see. Tesla. I don't think that's the chart of Tesla. Hang on. No, that ain't it. TS. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, look at this chart. Tesla. Oh my God. What a wacky freaking chart, man. This is just like, this is a bizarro chart, right? So ever since back in here when it was 36, and then all of a sudden it starts to make its move, it just makes major moves, and all of it is based on people thinking that Tesla doesn't have enough capital to survive, right? Well, if they didn't have enough capital, then why is the guy building, you know, ships, rocket ships to go to the moon or to Mars? I mean, it's like, give me a break. So let's do this. This ought to be interesting on Tesla. God, oh my God. I'll bet if I did a fib on this retracement, I would almost bet it hit the 127, maybe 161.8. Let me do this. Unbelievable. This just absolutely makes me bonkers. Let's see, right there to there. Okay, it's not going to do this to me again, please. Let's see. There we go. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. So, I think it hit that perfectly. Come on. Get up there. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so it hit the 161.8, right? Or close to. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3. Over the long term, let's just go weekly. Let's go weekly on it. That's almost better. And see, this is another one, right? Where it loves that 200 to 233 EMA. Look at this. 200-day moving average. It just, price reverts back to it. It gets too far away, it wants to come back and test it. Gets too far away, comes back and tests it. Gets too far away, tests it, drops below, tests it. So what do you think is going to happen now? Right? Do you think it's going to come back and test it again? Let's do a retrace on this. And let's see where those retraces line up. Let's do this. If that was the high. Not saying it is. So let's throw on the 61.8 and 50. And isn't that amazing? All right. So if it was me, okay, just me, I would not be buying Tesla right here. I would not. Right? Now, I'm not saying that it can't go higher, right? Sure it can. But you've got, let's do this, horizontal array. All right, so you got retracement, you got resistance right up here. Could it go up here and hit that? It sure could. Absolutely, no doubt. But if that was the turn and price was outside Bollinger Bands, right? Let's just zoom in. Price was outside Bollinger Bands, and you got a bearish engulfing pattern right there, right? You got a small green candle, and now you have a bearish engulfing. So what's that tell me? To me, as a trader, I would be sitting here and I would be going, you know what? I think I'm going to wait until Tesla gets down to about 275. Right here. Right around this 50% or maybe even 38.2. You could say 293 ish, and then it could wick to 270. But that's the area I would want to buy. I'm not going to buy it right here. No way. Hell no. And especially when stochastic RSI is curling down, right? That just tells me that after earnings, it had this big, huge move, and price is going to now retrace that. It's going to retrace that. It's not going to go higher. It's going to go lower. Let it come back to the 10 EMA or the 20 EMA back down in here. So this is the area you want to look for, right? You don't want to look for it right here. This is not your area. Down here is your area. 291 to 270 on Tesla. That's your buying opportunity. Okay? But man, what a move that was right there from 170 to... Oh my God, that was a double. Holy shit. That was a double. Wow. So, yeah, if me, I would wait until right in this area, maybe a little bit below, maybe even 249. I would almost wait until the 61.8 and 78.6 on a retrace. Now, if it's really bullish, really bullish, then it should hold that 38.2. I mean, if this thing starts to turn right here at 294 on a retrace, if it hits that and starts to move up, then that'll be strong. And you want to see if the stochastic RSI can hold 50. Right? Kind of like I did back in here. See how it made that move right there and then retraced and then hit that 50? And then that's what catapulted it to the high side. All right. So if it can hold right there, yeah, I would say if it can hold 293, 294, that's your area. How often do I stream? Once a week is when I try to do a live stream. I'm going to try to do more. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do more in the future. And I think if I do more, that I might get more followers. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works or if it tracks all that crap or not. But yeah, but I'll try to do more per week. And once I'll tell you this. And here's the thing too: is once football season is over, I will be on here all the time. I mean, constantly. So I may do a live stream once a night. So my schedule. Here's my schedule. Okay. And I'm going to type it in. My schedule. And this is on Discord. Is after 5:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. So when I'm on Discord, that's usually when I try to get in. I get home usually around 5:30-ish, unless I have to work late, and then I'll check in after that. But usually I have to, when I get home, I call my girlfriend. I'm on the phone with her for a little bit. But usually that's normally the schedule. So anywhere between then and sometimes 9 o'clock, I may be on after 9, just doing charts and stuff. So but that's pretty much it. I mean, because I get up, I go to work all day, come home, spend a few hours on Discord, Twitter, etc., and go from there. Yeah, do you have the link? Are you not? You're not in my Discord channel? Oh, dude, you need to. If you're not, you need to get in there. Being Crypto and Ancient, two of my members, they are doing fantastic work there, bro. And Vaughn Colors, Vaughn does work on FX. So if you're wanting to trade currencies like euros or Japanese yen, yeah, here, I'll give you the link right now. There you go. So you need to get in there. It's not just me. It's not just me. I've got great team players in there. Being Crypto and Vaughn Colors, Ancient, they are doing just great work in there. And we've got multiple channels. We've got crypto news. We've got learning channels. We've got calls. You know, when we make calls, we put a calls channel in there. So I think you'll love it. I really do. I think you'll like it. So we've got some really good people in there, and they're doing a hell of a job, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They're doing a great job. So anyway, all right. Well, guys, I think unless anybody else has any questions or chart requests, I'll give it like a 5-minute call. I'll give it a 5-minute call. I mean, I'm free for most of the night, but if anybody else has anything, just let me know. Oh, you're welcome, man. You are so much welcome, Fabio. Appreciate you coming in here, and if you guys hit the like button, I would so much appreciate it. And we'll do this again. I mean, like I say, I'm a football guy, so there's a lot of times I'm not in here as much as I should be, but football season is coming to a close, at least for college. I don't give a crap about the NFL, so. But anyway, I'll be in here a bunch, so get ready, get fired up. It's going to be a great year, guys. This next year is going to be awesome. So we're going to do some good stuff in here, and we're going to try to make everybody some money. My accent, I'm from Oklahoma. Southern accent. Then again, I could just talk like this, and then I'd be a really southern guy. If I talk like this, then I'm really from like Louisiana or something like that. But no, that's not me. No, I'm from Oklahoma. I'm not one of those Arkansas guys or Louisiana. No, I'm not one of those guys. Anyway, too funny. So anyway, all right, guys. I'm gonna give it like a 1 minute call now. Oh, you're from Canada. Nice. What part of Canada? Oh, Vancouver. I had a friend of mine that was from Vancouver. God, and he sent me a picture. Vancouver is actually beautiful. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. Oh, from Brazil. Wow. Okay, well, that's a big change. If you're from Brazil going to Vancouver, oh my God. Wow. That's a big temperature change, bro. It's like, okay, I don't need to wear shorts anymore. Oh, yeah, for sure. True that. True that. Safer in Vancouver. Yeah. Yeah. That's a shame, too, because that part of the country is so beautiful. I just wish they could get everything. There's so many crime lords and drug shit going on down there. I wish they could get all that straightened away. You know what I'm saying? God, it just sucks. That part of the country is so beautiful. Wow, that sucks. I got a buddy of mine that Canada. He lives in Nova Scotia, and I wanted him to send me like some lobsters, and he could get them like really cheap, and he was going to send them to me on, um, oh, what do you call it? Oh gosh, in an ice. I'm trying to think of it. It's not ice. It's something. It's close to ice, but anyway, he was going to send it to me, and I just wish I could have some lobster, cheap lobster. Yeah, I have been outside the USA. I went to back in 2013. I went on a Greek Isle cruise. I went to. We flew into Venice, and then we went to Croatia, and then made that trip around to Greece. It was, I don't know what the name of that ocean is, Indian Ocean or whatever. Anyway, we curled around and we went to all those chains around there. It was really cool. That was the best cruise I've ever been on. One of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life was Santorini. Santorini Island. Oh my God. That place was unbelievable. Oh my gosh. And Venice was actually really, really cool. St. Michael's Cathedral, I think is what they call it. And then I saw in the news, it was really weird. I saw in the news recently where it was underwater. I mean, it flooded. The floodwaters came in. And it was like so surreal because I was like, man, I was there. I was walking around in that area. And then to go look at it and see that it was underwater, I was like, unbelievable, bro. Yeah, and me and my girlfriend, we took the canals. Oh yeah, and so we took a gondola. Me and my girlfriend we rented a gondola and went all through that area. I mean, it was so cool, really cool. Yeah, gondola ride. Oh, it was very, yeah, it really was. But here's the deal: is that so when I was on this ship before we went into Venice, I was asking guys. I was like, so these gondolas, man. I mean, how much did they cost? And they was like, oh God, just go up to one of them and ask them how much you charge, and then go to the next one and just negotiate your price. And so I did that, and I went to one guy and I was like, "How much do you charge?" And he was like, $20. And I went to the next guy down the line and I was like, "Okay, how much?" And he was like, $20. And I said, "I'll give you 10." And he goes, "No, I can't take 10." And I was like, "Really? Okay, all right." So I went to the next guy and I said, "How about $10?" And he goes, "Nope, can't do it." And I was like, finally they go, "Here's the deal. My guy screwed me on the ship." He goes, I finally found out they're all part of the chain. They all own each other. And so it was a set price. And so I'm sitting there trying to negotiate with these guys, and it was like a set price. And I was like, I'm feeling like such an idiot. And I was like, I wanted to go back to that guy and just punch him in the face. I was like, are you kidding me? I was sitting there trying to haggle down and like, oh no, I'll give you 15, I'll give you 10, I'll give you whatever. And I was like, nope, $20, set price. I was like, man, screw you guys. So anyway, I did $20. And me and my girlfriend rode around all this place. I mean, it was really cool though. Verona, oh yeah. My sister did she went all through Italy. Her and one of her best friends went over there, and they did like a full week or a week and a half all through Italy. Went to Rome, went to all over the place. And I was like, man, that would be so cool. And we actually had dinner in a restaurant there in Venice. And dude, I got to tell you, I mean, it was like all natural, right? All natural food. And it was probably, I mean, I had a pizza, and it was probably the best freaking pizza I ever had in my life. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is like real cheese, I mean, everything was just fresh. It was just no preservatives, no, like you get here in the United States, everything's all pre-made and blah, blah. I was like, man, this is bomb, dude. I was like, I need to come over and I'm just going to move to Italy. Yeah, it was badass. But Santorini and all the wine and cheese and then going over into Croatia and getting all the olive oil and the oh my gosh, pistachios. Man, it was bomb. The worst part of the trip though, I got to tell you, the worst part of my trip was Greece. Was actually Athens. It was the worst part of the trip I've ever had in my life. We got off the ship. We had to walk probably close to a mile just to get to the train that would take you into Athens. And then we get on the train, we go into Athens, and that was like a 30-minute trip or 20-minute, whatever. We get into there, and then the lady that was doing our trip, like the trip advisor, she couldn't stop talking. I mean, it was like, she wanted to show us like little, stuff that like you go look at statues and stuff, and she would explain every one of these statues. There was like 15 of them, and it's like, I don't need to know all 15 of these statues. And she talked so much that she had a little bit of white stuff on the side of her mouth. It was almost like she was dry mouth. And I was there with the owner, and with the part of my group. He was the one that paid for it, and he was sitting there, and I looked over at him, and he just wiped his mouth. He was like doing a wipe the mouth type of thing, and it was like I saw the same thing he did. She had that white spit on the side of her mouth, and he just did that wipe the mouth thing, and it just fucking cracked me up. I was like, are you kidding me? And so we're sitting there thinking, we get into Athens, we see the presidential palace, blah, blah, whatever. And by the time we get back, we're like, okay, can we go do some shopping? And so me and my girlfriend are like, okay, yeah, let's go do some shopping. And they go, oh, we only have 5 minutes left. And we're like, 5 minutes before we have to get on the train to go back to the ship. And we're like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? So we only had 5 minutes to do shopping in Athens. I mean, of all the places you want to do shopping, you would probably want to do some shopping there. And we had 5 minutes. And it was like, we just said, screw it. It was like, whatever. So, anyway. Didn't mean to babble, but that was my story of Greece. Got a lot of pictures, though. Oh, it was very frustrating, bro. Very frustrating. Oh, my God. So frustrating. But that was the worst part of the trip. Oh, Milano. Oh, wow. I think my sister went there. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? They closed their ships? Oh my God. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Pretty weird. All right, guys. I am going to call it a night. Or at least call it here. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in here very much, and we will do it again soon. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.